I'm going to shoot you straight. Today, I'm going to cut right to the chase. I'm going to give you the simplest success formula that you can use to become successful in any area of your life. It does not matter what you want to achieve. This formula that is only 2 steps will work in 100% of situations, 100% guaranteed. If you want to improve your health, your wealth, your well-being, anything in your life will improve and you will become successful if you simply follow this 2-step formula that I will lay out in the next 10 minutes. Welcome to Change Made Easy. Changing your habits, routines, and behaviors is hard. We make it easy. I'm Paul Leviton. I help high achievers like you who feel stuck to bridge the gap between where they are and where they want to be. Traditional self-help doesn't work because it's either too rigid, too generic, or too overwhelming. My approach is different. I simplify change by making it so easy it can't not happen. Using my easier framework, I will help you create habits, routines, and behaviors that stick so you can stop struggling and start thriving. It's that easy. Okay, so I promised to cut right to the chase, and I'm not going to beat around the bush here. There is a 2-step formula to success that works in 100% of situations. And if you're driving, if you're doing something right now, don't worry about writing this down because this is so simple and so easy that you will remember it just from listening to this. And that's the whole point. I want to make this so easy that you can't mess it up. The 2-step formula to guarantee success in any area is step 1, commit to a course of action. Step 2, honor your commitments. That is it. That is literally it. Step 1, commit to a course of action. Step 2, honor your commitments. Basically, step 1, choose something that you're going to do, and step 2, do what you say you will do. It really is that simple. If you are a person who follows through on your commitments, you will become successful in any area. It seems almost too simple or too easy to be true, but that's the whole point. The way that we find long-term success is by making things so easy you can do them forever. And when you do them forever, you actually get the result. That's why this podcast is How Do We Make It Easy? Change made easy. Make it easy, you do it, you get the result. So commit to a course of action and then honor your commitments. And if you're thinking this is too simple, I guarantee you that if you look back in your own history and think about anything where you think that you failed on trying to get something, trying to achieve something, you will see that you failed at one of these 2 steps. Either you didn't choose a course of action specifically, and this is when you're kind of flailing around doing a lot of different things and not actually specifically zeroing in on what actually you need to do, or you choose a course of action, but you don't actually follow through on it, and when you don't follow through on it, you fizzle out over time. These are the only 2 things that you need to worry about if you want to be successful. And I know that when you hear something like this, you can go, well, no, it's not that simple, or you want to hear this convoluted, complex, 10-step, 20-step, whatever routine, plan, this, that, the other, and those things are fine. But they're all just more complex variations of this. Every step beyond these 2 steps is just trying to get you back to this step. Every step is just trying to get you to commit to something and then take action. So we can simplify everything by just honoring those 2 steps. So the first step is to commit to a course of action. So what is the goal that you're after? The goal is just the goal. What is the action steps? What is the course of action, the roadmap that will get you there? So weight loss as an analogy. You want to lose 20 pounds. That is a goal. That is an end destination. That is not a course of action. What are the things that you need to do to lose 20 pounds? Are you going to start running? Are you going to start lifting weights? Are you going to stop eating so much processed sugar? Are you going to stop ordering takeout and delete DoorDash off your phone? Whatever the steps are, you have to figure out what they are and then commit to them and say, these are what I'm going to do. And then the next step is actually doing it. Some would say that that's the hard part, right? It's easy to decide what to do. The challenge is often following through. But many people don't actually choose a course of action. They just choose a goal. I want to be rich. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be happy. That's an end goal. That is not a course of action. You need to select the course of action and figure out what will actually get you there step by step by step. So now, assuming you have that, step 2 is honor your commitments. People talk about motivation, willpower, all of these things. I don't want to hear about any of that. Do you do what you say you are going to do? Are you a person who says, I'm going to do this and then you do it? Or do you say, I'm going to do this and then you don't? It's very cut and dry. But the important thing to note here, however, is that most people are not people who honor their commitments, because most of our commitments are challenging in some way, and we don't really like to do challenging things. So we find excuses, we make busy with busy work, we start doing other things, we just forget about it, we say we can't do it, we say we tried, 1,000 other things will come up, and we don't actually honor that commitment. But then when we look at this two-step formula and we go, well, why am I not achieving what I want to achieve? Why am I not successful? We always look at the second step, the honor your commitments, follow through. This is where people start talking about willpower and motivation. Okay, so if I'm not following through on my commitments, I must just need motivation. I must just need willpower. And I think this is a fatal flaw that messes most people up. And if this is you, this is going to be a game changer for you. Because the reality is, if you've been stuck in this loop for a long time where you have a goal, you know what you want to do, you have a course of action, but you can't get yourself to do the action, right? So you have step one, you've chosen a course of action. I want to have more money and not be struggling, living paycheck to paycheck all the time. That's the end goal. So as a course of action, you've decided to start learning how to edit YouTube videos. And you're like, if I can edit YouTube videos, then I can sell that as a service to people. People will pay me to edit their videos, and then I'll have passive income because I can automate it and blah, 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 blah. And you have a whole thing, you have a whole roadmap laid out. That's great. So now all you have to do is honor your commitments, which is get up every day and work 2 hours on YouTube before work and after work. Simple enough. And yet every day you wake up, you're tired, you don't get right to work. You go to work, you're going to work on YouTube after work, but then you're tired. You still have to go to the gym, you still have to cook dinner, you still have to work on homework with your kids, a million other things, and it just doesn't happen. In this scenario, people often say, well, the problem is I'm just not motivated. I just don't have the willpower. I'm just not disciplined. None of that means anything to me. What matters here is that you don't want to do the thing. And no amount of willpower, motivation, or discipline are going to get you to do that. Because at our base level, humans want to do what we want to do, and we do what we want. Everything that you do in a day, you did it because you want to. You can say you had to, but you don't have to do anything. If you are doing something, you have chosen to do it. You go to work every day. Even if you don't want to, you still go to work. That means you want to, because you'd rather go to work and receive a paycheck than be poor and homeless. So you could say, like, I don't like my job, but you like it more than being destitute. So when you are not taking action towards your goals, it is not a lack of willpower or motivation. It's actually a problem in step one. You chose the wrong route to your goals. So if your goal is to become this big YouTube person and you have to work on it 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the evening every day to get to that goal, and you're finding yourself not doing it, it is not a lack of motivation or willpower. What we do is we go back to step one, choose a course of action, and you choose a better course of action. One that does not rely on willpower, motivation, or discipline. One that doesn't have you coming back home every day tired and having to force yourself to do something you don't really want to do. One that doesn't have you having to wake up 2 hours early before work when that's not realistic because you put your kids to bed at 10, you have an hour to yourself with your partner, and then you have to be up for work at 5. So if you were waking up 2 hours early, that's 3 a.m. and that's just not realistic. Understand that all of your issues with whatever you're trying to do come back to the first part, choosing the correct course of action, choosing the correct goal. People think that it's the second part. It's how do I become consistent? How do I have more discipline? How do I have more willpower? And the reality is you don't need willpower or discipline or motivation when you've chosen the correct course of action. When you wake up and want to do the thing that gets you to the end goal, then you don't have to rely on willpower. You don't have to rely on motivation. So all you have to do to follow this simple 2-step plan to success, choose the course of action, honor your commitments, is choose the course of action. That part is important. You actually have to know what's going to get you to where you want to be, and then honor your commitments. But the difference here is that when you're not honoring your commitments, when you're not showing up for yourself like you said you would, instead of beating yourself up, instead of thinking about, oh gosh, man, I'm so lazy, or I just need to figure out how to do no, go back to step one and choose a different path. a path that you're more likely to take, that you're more likely to be motivated towards. Now, I know that the common pushback here is going to be, well, I have to do these things because that's the goal that I want. But it doesn't matter what you have to do if you're not actually doing it. We say things like, well, I have to go to the gym. I have to lose weight. I have to eat healthy. And I'm not motivated to do those things. It's like, well, if you're not motivated to do them and then you're not doing them, then clearly you don't have to. Because if you had to, you would. I have to breathe. I'm doing that. I have to drink water. I have to eat. Those are the things I have to do. Anything else is a choice. So we so often trip ourselves up at the goal selection part of the phase, and that makes it impossible for us to ever be the person who honors our commitments. And then, to make matters worse, we get guilt, we get shame, we get down on ourselves because we think that like, oh, I'm just a lazy person. You're not a lazy person. You just picked a bad course of action that is not aligned with the actual place in your life where you are right now. You've set yourself up for failure before you started. So go back to the beginning, choose a different goal or a different course of action to get that goal, and then see if you become the person who follows through on those actions. And if you don't, repeat. Back to step 1 and then to step 2. Don't worry about step 2 because step 2, honor your commitments, will inherently take care of itself when you do step 1, commit to the proper course of action. That's it. I told you I wanted to keep this short, sweet, and simple. If you follow this 2-step plan, you will be successful. And if you don't or can't, it is again an error in step 1. And I challenge anyone who hears this to tell me an area that this does not work on in your life, because I have not yet found a place in any area of life where this simple 2-step formula does not apply. Choose a course of action and then honor your commitments. If you are struggling with step 2, go back to step 1 rather than beating yourself up about willpower, motivation, discipline, or laziness, and choose a goal or a route to the goal that you are more enthusiastic about. And remember, this is all taken from my easier framework. Enthusiasm in the easier framework is the start of all of this. So if you want to learn about that entire framework, the goal setting easier framework, shoot me a DM or comment on this or wherever you're watching or listening, and I'll send you a free easier guide. And that is change made easy.